Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2. Here today on the channel, we're back with episode 4 of my Divide et Impera Kingdom of Epirus Let's Play. In today's episode, war is going to break out between Epirus, the Aetolian nobles, and Athens. In the last episode, Alexander II, son of Epirus, managed to eliminate the Illyrians. We also managed to conquer Cisalpine Gaul, but now he has to test himself against the Hellenic world, bringing them into the Kingdom of Epirus fold. Unfortunately, in this series, Pyrrhus was taken out by Genoans early on, after putting the final nail and destroying the Roman Republic. But Alexander II here today has the chance to really test himself on the Hellenic world stage, as it were. Okay guys, welcome to the campaign map. Let's get stuck into it. It's autumn 265, and let's have a look at the nobles and Athens standing. So there's a full stack in Athens itself. There seems to be one army in Larissa, one just outside to the south. We have full stacks in operation after we have united the Kingdom of Italy, and well, we've gone all the way and united like the roads as well. We're a connected up kingdom now. The border gore doesn't look too bad. Unfortunately for me, Athens is quite strong. They've actually managed to take Pella off the Macedonians. So we've got two full stacks here, and we've got another two chasing the Athenians that are actually trespassing in Epidamenos for some reason. Two full stacks, so they're going to chase for them. While they still maintain a decent presence of home, we might be able to ambush some of the Athenians on the road. Political-wise, it looks like we've managed to unite up as well and secure ourselves a bit. So if we want to take the entire region of Macedon, we have to knock out Larissa, which, yeah, I don't think it's normally under the control of nobles, is it? Sparta as well, we want to probably try and take out in the next episode. But here are our sort of unit builds. As such, we've got another army defending Genoa, because we are at war with, technically, the Gauls, Carthaginians, and a couple of other just annoying factions in and around us. Massalia is one. But we're going to be declaring war upon the Aetolian nobles, and it's going to draw in the Athenians. They will be sent an ultimatum, and I imagine they're going to stand, and they are. So we'll probably push towards Larissa firstly. It's going to be a good fight. We have 4 in operation. They probably have a little bit more, maybe just on par. So we'll send 2 of our randomly generated generals to go down and deal with Larissa, while Alexander II, the son of Pyrrhus, he's got a lot of noble pedigree, son of Pyrrhus, cousin of Alexander the Great, Alexander II, the Benevolent, I like to call him. Hopefully, he can earn his keep. So we've got a good battle here against the Athenians. Looking at their army build, 3 horsemen, some pikes, some decent archers, no swordsmen, which is good. But we'll fight this one with the Griffin's Grace, with Alexander II. Let's chuck a quick save and a hard save. The last thing we want is a game crash. Especially with, I don't know, I always experience game crashes with mods, especially with recording equipment, so I've got to do that ever so often. So we'll fight this one. Should be a decent battle. I'm kind of surprised that Athens pushed so far into my territory. I guess that sort of gives us a little bit of a casus belli, a justification to attack them in the end. But we haven't got overly too much cavalry with Alexander's army. Okay, so it's quite thick in forestry, this battle map, so we've got to be a little bit cautious. Which actually kind of works for me infantry-wise, although we do have a reduction in the forest, their cavalry probably isn't going to work as well either. So we're slowly but surely pushing up, trying to close the distance of where I would assume they would be. Probably not towards the clearing. We've got reinforcements coming on our left-hand side and on the right. We massively outnumber them, nearly 2 to 3 to 1, and this should be a good fight against the Athenian boys. We'll try and rally up with my army, but looking overall, mostly made up of a lot of medium to low tier swordsmen and a scattering of pikes here and there. Cavalry don't seem to do too well in auto resolves, and in the last couple of episodes, we have been dealing with pretty decent built-up barbarian territories in Cisalpine Gaul and in Illyricum, so they haven't survived, and we've had to dive in a little bit to the local economy and recruitment pool to get units, so a little bit of a mismatch, a little bit of a sort of not cohesive Epirus army build you'd expect normally. So we've found the Athenians. They've actually pulled out of the forest and they're sitting atop a tree line. That's not what we want. We want to try and match them there we can, and if we can get 12 units or so over their right-hand side to wrap around and envelop, we'll be laughing. But they are seem to be hugging the border on the left-hand side here. We'll try and waste some of their ammunition, but they've got a decent spot here. I respect it, that they're not fighting it, making us fight in the tree line. These very light missiles aren't going to be able to do too much against us. But allowing my peasants to sort of waste their ammo on them will be fine. Right, let's try and speed things up, as we want our infantry to rally up and eventually hit them in one united frontal assault. So the political landscape in Greece hasn't changed too much. So it looked like the Macedonians were defeated. Sometimes in DEI they can like surge down and conquer Athens, Larissa, even Epirus, and Sparta in quite quick succession. I have a feeling in my Seleucid campaign, I can't remember specifically what campaign I've seen that in, but I have seen it in before in Let's Plays. But this time around, Athenian democracy, as it were, has spread throughout Hellas. And they're in a strong position, so this is a good fight. We've left Greece to deal with the fools of the Republic and their barbarian neighbours, while the Athenian Greeky boys have managed to take Pella, which is quite strong territory, and they've managed to either, I guess they might have even liberated the nobles there. That cavalry's annoying. They're dragging them down. So it looks like we're just fighting it, battling it out, toe to toe, both counter-charging at them where we can. We don't want to try and run down their cavalry if we can avoid it, but they do have the slight high ground. But we have the numerical edge, which should count for a lot more. Swinging around is what's going to be the problem. Now, in DEI, you do forget a little bit that your units can be incredibly fatigued, and we have already had to navigate throughout this treacherous battlefield. Pushing up, so they might be a little bit exhausted, a little bit fatigued in this fight. They've got the high ground and they've just sat there listening to a whole host of rhetorical and rhetoric speeches, I think. I would imagine. What else would they be doing? Just hanging up on the top of a hill. So, most of my flanking push is going to come from the right. They have annoying cavalry on my left, but we should be able to make quick work of that where we can. And then that's one full stack hopefully done. We'll try and defeat the second one. The problem is if it escapes. Hopefully we're going to be able to destroy this second stack before it gets too close to Illyrian territory. And then we can swing back Alexander II and his 2 full stacks back down to Greece. But I'm sure my generals will be fine and operating down in Greece. You've got to trust them. You've got to trust your generals if we're going to be ever spoken about the same way as my cousin. Distant cousin. Don't let a good lineage example go to waste. Here's my cousin! Through and through, Alexander the Great. His blood flows through my veins. Right, so they seem to be holding out quite well. We're wrapping around, which is dropping them. But I'm kind of surprised that they pushed out there, to be honest. I can't remember. We might have actually had military alliance, so we might have baited them in. The Athenians are trespassing. They will not go through our sovereign lands. Oh, well, we're going to be able to take Athens and Pella. Hopefully. And then going towards our victory conditions of setting up the Med Kingdom. Archers are still doing a decent work. Now these archers have actually managed to pin down and expose this Athenian hoplite unit. Check this out. We're raining fire and death upon them with their backs facing us. They're heavier, sort of medium hoplites. The enemy general's dead, while our lighter units are baiting them in. And our arrows are raining fire and death upon them, making them porcupines, making them look like cute little echidnas. And that unit should pretty much perish now. And they're in a full retreat. Victory! And a decisive one at that. Once again, we've managed to have a, well, decent and decisive victory. And our first one against the Athenian Hellenic Defense League, you could say. 9.8k, a little bit unfair against 3.4. And we've managed to stop the people of Epidamos getting sacked, I guess. So unfortunately we couldn't get all of them. Oh, come off it. They weren't even there. It's that, like, bridge shoving thing. That's annoying. Well, we'll allow Alexander to put the entire army into the ground, and then we'll try and run down the remaining stragglers there. How did we lose a unit there? That's ridiculous. Well, that's DEI for you. You cannot auto-resolve. Play every battle. It's like, no! Please! We'll take the hit. Okay, and we'll send you down to deal with that. Go night attack. I think there are buffs. I can't remember. In that situation, let me know, DI connoisseurs. I pick up this game ever so often. Come back and forth. You might get a little buff. Always let me know tips and tricks. Especially with, like, I don't play the same mod week in, week out. I always come back into pretty much like a rotation of a month, maybe 3 weeks. So, with the amount of updates that get pushed out on various mods and games, I do miss stuff here and there. I try my best! Right, let's push down to Larissa. Okay, we should be able to take it now. So the 2 armies that pushed over the Alps there should be able to take Larissa. Now, this is going to be a crucial key point in Greece, the heart of Greece. And we're going to be able to dictate and sort of cut off the supply lines between Pella and Athens. They've just overextended. That's the best way to explain their situation. Pyrrhus II, new royal heir. Hey, Pyrrhus was the son of Olympus II and Alexander II of Epirus. He was a brother of Ptolemy. Okay, he ruled as king of Epirus and had 2 daughters. Sweet, so this is an important imported character, and we're going to adopt him into the line. Okay, so I've skipped a little bit ahead. We've got 2 full stacks down. We actually lost Larissa, but we've got 2 full stacks to deal with some Aetolian nobles there. And we've got Pyrrhus coming back as well, but we should be able to pick apart these armies quite easily now. But yeah, we just had to pull back because we were going to get swarmed at Epirus. We needed Pyrrhus to come down. It took him a little while. So we've managed to get rid of the Aetolian nobles, as, well, Athens has taken Larissa now. So they're a little bit stronger. So we should be able to get rid of this army now. Just chasing down the rebels. Or the nobles, rather. It's more annoying. I consider them rebels, because who owns Larissa? Isn't Larissa like a faction? Normally it is. In various Total War iterations. I don't think you can play as the Aetolian nobles from the get-go. I can't remember. Anyway, good start. There mustn't be too many more Athenian armies left to deal with. Okay. Welcome to the top of the turn, guys, to 63 BC. We need to continue on with this Athenian war. So, we've got an army here that can either go towards Pella or Larissa. We'll send Alexander to try and take Pella, and we'll send this other army up to help out. So this will destroy a small army inside, the brothers of Xenophon. And once we secure Pella, we're going to be able to get a decent supply line there. So we'll replenish and repair where we can. Okay, now we need to focus on Athens and Larissa itself. So, man, these armies are a little bit shambolic. If I get rid of this army might be enough to take Larissa because it's changed hands a little bit. Athens, rather. No, they're going to have to wait there. That's alright. Can you get down here in time? No, not yet. There's no one else sort of lurking about, eh? Can we get some mercenaries? Actually, because this army's incredibly depleted. Macedonian hoplites? I'm sure they'd be keen to help. Now, can that auto-resolve Athens out? And we can. Good. It was just so depleted. I thought we nearly had enough to take them out. Let's loot and occupy this. My Imperium's shot up, and that should be the last of them. Yep, we've managed to wrap up the Aetolian nobles and Athens here today. So all that remains... Well, normally I would have had to hit Macedon, but they got knocked out by the Athenians. So we've managed to take Pella, Larissa, and Athens quite quickly. So to take the entire region of Hellas, we need to take Knossos, Crete, and Sparta. Which I'm not really too fussed about taking Knossos, but Sparta, uniting the bottom there is definitely what we want to go for. But this is what we currently occupy. Looking at the world map, Syracuse currently still occupies Sicily. I think they actually might have taken Carthage at one point. Because they're very much on the back foot. We're still at war with a couple of factions here and there. But this is what the kingdom of Epirus looks like. We've got some allies down in Iberia. But fortunately for me, there have been some minor skirmish conflict between myself and Massalia on the border. But thankfully, Carthage hasn't sent a full invasion force against me like they did against the Roman Republic. I think they've been more concerned with Syracuse, who has thrown them out of Sicily once and for all. Epirus II is now my son and heir. I do recommend, if you do play as a Hellenic faction in Total War Rome 2, to adopt those important characters. They do tend to have just better quality accolades and stuff here and there. Obviously, in like the Alexander campaign, his generals have some like fantastic stats and stuff, but also they come of age quite later as well. You don't have to rely on the biological children who take a long time, like 15 years before they become full-fledged generals, and you can usually get the historical accurate generals a lot quicker, because we started off with Pyrrhus, then we were able to adopt and bring in Alexander II, who historically was the king, and then Pyrrhus II as well. But unfortunately, guys, it's time to wrap up episode 4 here today. We've managed to destroy the Athenians and securing the majority of Greece. The nobles have been destroyed as well. I'm going to have to skip a little bit ahead, replenish, repair, build up my armies, make sure we have to sort of hold and control this land. We will have some minor rebellions and stuff, I imagine, that we're going to have to deal with because we've conquered so much territory in quite quick succession. But stay tuned for episode 5 coming out tomorrow. I upload, of course, midnight Australia time. Every single time. That's actually a pretty good blueprint just for the year. Normally I upload around about that time and about 3 p.m. London time and about 7 a.m. American. So just thought I'd give you the heads up on that. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback for the series, and if you'd like to see more, that's the best way to ensure more content. Leave a dislike if you're not enjoying the series. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. Patreon and merchandise link in the description below, along with the Steam group. Come and join the community on Steam. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye.